Okay, now we're back again, and thank you for staying online. So we are ready to this Tech Match Round 3 launch event, and we look very much forward to it. I'm Peter Landau, and I'm working at BLOXHUB as a program manager for the Tech Match program. And in BLOXHUB, we do the facilitation together with FundingBox, and also we do the mentoring. Now we're back again, and thank you for staying online. Oops, so we are ready back again. So we have to be ready here. Sorry. So that's my job, and as you can see, we work with tech every day, but it can give us some challenges. Martin, you please.
And I'm Martin Holm from FundingBox. I'm the project manager at FundingBox, and also part of this match in getting the program to work together with Peter. From FundingBox's side, we are recruiting the European tech startups, and we are facilitating the program together with BLOXHUB.
And as you can see, we are in a studio. Normally we will do this in an arena, having you here in the building. And we are actually now in the Blocks building in the center of Copenhagen. And as I said, normally it's a physical place for us. Now it's also an online meeting spot, and we welcome you all here.
So during this event, there's a live chat available where you can put your questions. We will not be able to chat in text with you in the live chat. However, we will pause from time to time to catch up on the questions that you are sending in. So please put in some good questions, and we will try to catch up during the live event. So
that should be the first intro here, and let's have a look at the agenda for the next week, next hour here. First, Martin, you will take the first part.
First of all, we are now welcoming you all. Then we will look at the third partner, the main partner in the program, Realdania, who will try to enlighten us why we are actually doing the tech match. Then we will look at something that I know interests us all: how much funding is there involved? And then we will give an intro into how the Tech Match program is running, how we are doing it. We will also look at who can apply, both from the Danish side and from the European tech side. And then I will give a short introduction on who is FundingBox actually, followed by
me. That will do the introduction of what is BLOXHUB and what can BLOXHUB do for you. Then we will meet very shortly an introduction of the 10 first winners of the Tech Match program. And then we will have a live interview of a winning team, and we look very much forward to meet these guys here online. And then we will have also another team from the second round that we will introduce for you. And then at the end of this event, we will try to convince you, and it should not be so hard, to tell you that it's super easy to apply for a Tech Match. So finally, we have questions and answers. But also, as Martin just said, during the event, you are most welcome to put your questions in the live chat, and we will try to answer them during the event as well.
So moving on, we will go to the first point on the agenda. And we have invited Simon Kofod Svendsen to join us here. Welcome, Simon. And first of all, I think, Simon, would you introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about Realdania?
Yeah. To begin with, just myself, my name is Simon. As you said, I'm head of projects in Realdania's philanthropy department, where I work with applications and grants and larger campaigns. So I'm in the very I see Lalandia Sørensen. That's not me. I'm at the very machine room of Realdania, how we do funding and how we spend our money. Specifically, I work a lot with innovation projects, many of them actually being in cooperation with BLOXHUB. Personally, I'm also interested in the synergies between applied research and practical innovation, but that's another story. that's also relevant in BLOXHUB, but not the focus of today.
Okay, and Simon, maybe give us a little bit an idea how much equity do you really have in the fund, and maybe you should put it in euros so we better understand the the size of the equity.
Yeah. So Realdania is a foundation. Is actually an association with members. We have 165,000 Danish members. We was established in year 2000, so almost 21 years old this year, and we grew out of real estate agency. Realkredit Denmark Mortgage Institute was sold to Danske Bank, and that surplus was put into in this foundation construction. So we began with around 3 billion euros crowns, which we also have today. So every year we have a non-philanthropic investments that form a surplus, and that surplus is what we donate. And normally we donate between 100 and 150 million euros per year. So it's quite a lot.
That is a lot of money. And so I think it was 3 billion euros. That is 20 billion Danish crowns. That's a lot of money. Yeah. Could you tell us? You have 6 philanthropical goals for Realdania. Could you tell us a little bit about those?
Yeah. So as in many large corporations, you have your goal and you have your mission, and from time to time we shift a little bit in our goals. For the time being, we have 6 strategic goals, which all underlies and supports our mission of creating quality of life through the built environment. So in everything we do, we look for quality of life and the built environment, and in what way they influence each other. That could be a potential role for Realdania, and also a role where money, knowledge, or network or people can help. So that's our guiding star, and the 6 goals we have, you can say, it focus on different aspects of the built environment. So we have one specifically targeting the construction industry, that we want to generate a more sustainable construction industry. We have the same with the city goal, sustainable urban construction or urban development. Then we have ones targeting our dwellings, our neighborhoods. So that's a more social sustainability focus. Then we have one focus on especially on relations, and where the built environment and relations can support each other. And then finally, both a target specifically on place-based potentials in Denmark. Where are the potentials that are located in specific areas that has a special potential to use? And in line or in thread with that, we also have a target or a goal on building our building heritage. So 6 strategic goals where TechMatch and much of the innovation activity that we support is focusing on the construction industry.
Okay, thank you, Simon. And then since you focus now in this, today we focus on the construction industry. So what kind of programs do you facilitate and fund in the construction industry specifically?
Yeah. TechMatch that we'll hear of is obviously one, but I think I'll stress out 2 others that could be relevant for the crowd, the audience today. We have a campaign that we call Innovation to Market. Innovation to Market is basically a funding and mentoring program that helps Danish companies with new solutions over what we could call the valley of death, the situation where that's a technical ready solution is ready, but it's not introduced or sold to the first customer yet. So that's focusing on a later stage innovation, as for example TechMatch does. It's relevant for many Danish companies, as long as you have a solution that's ready, and also a potential customer along. Then another one is called Urban Tech, and Urban Tech is also running in BLOXHUB, and that's basically it's an accelerator, an acceleration program where startups both from Denmark and from outside of Denmark can run pilot projects together with some few large Danish corporates. We have Covi, Velux, and a company in Eastern Jutland called Evi, on board. So that's an open, and it's open for applications. Both programs are open for applications at the time being. So that's two other examples.
Cool. So I guess anybody interested can find some more information on realdania.dk, I guess.
Yeah, that could be and actually Innovation to Market has its own website as well. But if you Google Realdania and innovation or that type of things, that could help you directly. But Innovation to Market.dk, and then Urban Tech has its own website as well. But try Google it. I think it's easy to find.
Perfect. So I brought a slide here because I know that there's a specific survey or report from McKinsey that plays a central role in some of the reasoning behind the Tech Match program. Would you care to comment a little bit about that?
Yeah. It's a figure, it's a table with a lot of words. So, but it's just to focus on the overall. It shows how much different sectors are digitalized, how much the sectors are using digital solutions as part of their work. And what we see is that the construction industry is almost at the bottom, meaning that both when we look at using digital assets, when processing, but also in the way labor works, it's you can say not digitized at all, or it's at least in the red or orange area. So compared to other sectors, the construction sector really lacks of using or exploiting the technology, and there are numerous reasons for that. McKinsey themselves states some few on top of the report here, saying that at least we have a sector that is fragmented. Saying that the construction projects, they are typically fragmented into a lot of value chains, or it's a larger value chain with a lot of different actors. That makes it difficult to use technology and to use the same kind of technology. It's also a situation that many construction projects are unique and you can say one-to-one. So it's not easy to replicate, and that also makes it difficult to use technology when you have unique situations all the time. And then finally, you can say a frame that's called transience. It's basically that a new construction project, it'll involve new players, a new organization working together. So you have to begin all over each time. And those three, at least, are examples of obstacles that makes it difficult to use technology. But I think hopefully we are on the way, and maybe when we look in some years, at least we could jump up some number of this table.
And I think also, since you really mentioned it, it's a complex situation for the construction industry. So it's really interesting to know how you see it. How can this situation be solved? I mean, this lack of technology, how can we step by step solve the situation and bring up the efficiency of the construction industry? How do you see that?
We can go, of course, we'll go into Tech Match, but you can say put it even more on a higher level. We see tendencies already helping, not putting in technology precise, but more helping with some of the obstacles that makes it difficult. We see more and more consortia growing and like winning a large bid where you can replicate your setup again and again. And that's one of the obstacles that you could actually that could help. And we also see more and more standardized products and solutions, standardized but still being able to vary and to differentiate a little bit. And of course, an effective construction sector must be industrialized, must be able to standardize more than we have done. So I think some is already on the go, but it is a difficult sector. And I think Tech Match is one very practical way where you could put it super simple. You can say that a construction company gets some in-house tech competencies for a period of time, and the tech company gets a a new market area. So the tech match program cheats a little bit, basically because it brings the forces together that the whole problem is about. That the many construction companies don't have the competencies, the interests, and the know-how themselves.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
so, fine. Yeah,
I think that was a really good roundup on it, actually. And let's have a look. Is there any questions from the audience at this point? Or
No, so there's no questions, but there is a comment which says, I have to disagree. The sector is extremely old-fashioned and adapt very slowly. I don't know where the disagreement, actually, because that was part of the point of that McKinsey report.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So and Simon, I think you can hear also the comment here. It is true that the construction industry also had this conservatism it's like it's very moving quite slowly. And I think that's the beauty of the TechMatch program, isn't it? That it's like you said, you're cheating, we're cheating a little bit, but it's also like a turbo on the engine. And that we want things to happen, and that's why we make these 6 month programs. So I think that's also one of the ways to break this conservatism.
Yeah, and I think I don't like talking down to a sector, saying you're not good good at, but numbers count, and a table like the one we just saw, it has some clarity, let's say it. But I think you have a lot of companies that are actually working on this agenda. I think many of those represented here today want to change this situation, and I think, but it is a complex sector, maybe one of the most complex sectors, because you have that long lifespan when you work, so you have to look maybe 50 or 100 years ahead.
Yeah. So I think also the ones gave this comment here, I think it's you have, of course, you pinpoint something that is actually completely true in the business. But on the other hand, please stay tuned to see how TechMatch can help, accelerate this thing in the construction industry, to bring more tech in and to make it more efficient. We find it very interesting, and we are succeeding at the moment, so that's nice. Martin?
And also, please just keep questions coming, or comments even, and we will have a look at those a bit later.
Yeah. So where are we?
So let's maybe have a look at the funding part of things in this program.
Yeah, and we have also now, we will look into the question, how much funding? And I think many of you are really looking forward to get an idea of the amount of what's possible. And we have a slide here that we will have to look at, and we will go through it step by step and see exactly the amount of money you can get, but also how the process of the TechMatch program runs and so forth. So first, if we have a look at the slide here, you can see that the amount is 500,000 Danish kroner. It's in euro is 67,000 euros, and it is split up into half, meaning around 33,500 euros for the time spent in the program, and the same amount for consultancy work, hardware and software. And quite often that is the part of the funding that is going to the EU tech startup. Can be, and can also be, other external partners and consultants that can help the project up and running. So, and Martin, the process itself?
Yeah, so the process, first of all, we will get more into that, but we are opening this open call right now, and we will be asking for applications from both Danish SMEs and European tech companies. When these have been selected and made into specific matches, at that point the program starts. And in the program, we are trying to line up a number of workshops that step by step will take you through a journey towards the most important thing to Peter and I, and in this project, namely the prototype, getting something real concrete out of the effort, so that it doesn't just become a coffee club where we discuss efficiency and sustainability on a theoretical level, but gets a real product out there. The different workshops that we have put together have been with topics from how to get in and how to conquer the Nordic, the Danish and the Nordic market, which is both relevant for each of the applicants, but maybe especially for some of the European companies coming into the project, but also, of course, for the outcome of each of these tech matches. In practical terms, during the COVID time, we have broken up the workshops into more workshops that are online and of a shorter period. But we really hope that this time, with round 3, we will be back on track in and being able to meet in person here at BLOXHUB, and we can do the training and the networking and the some of the mentoring sessions in person. And then maybe you say, okay, so 6 months, that's not too long time for, it's a major leap actually to reach from a challenge that you have in your business all the way to a prototype, even we see now actually to a product that you can sell within 6 months. That's normally not possible when you have to develop hardware, develop software. But that's where the beauty comes in here, because the reason why this is possible is that we have tech that could be from automobile or some other industry, and that tech is then, you could say, transferred, modified in a way, so it fits into your company. And then you have another solution that can be used into the construction industry. So that's how it's possible to do this within 6 months. And also the way that we're going to manage that, and how we have been managing it, is based by setting up a set of realistic but tough milestones during these 6 months that will make it possible to get to reach the goal, basically. Yeah. So it's quite amazing. We see now, as we mentioned, we will see now a little bit later on these 10 matches, and they're actually running within, and some of them are even ahead of time when it comes to making this prototype. I think it's super fascinating that we can do this within this 6 months period of time. Absolutely. Yeah. So Martin, you already mentioned a little bit about who can apply, but maybe we should be a little bit more specific. Who can apply from the EU side? So from the EU side, we are looking for companies that has already been part in FundingBox projects, and not only the fact that they have been part in FundingBox projects, which is a sort of a stamp on the quality of them, but also the fact that by being part of these projects, they have received funding already, so that they have some specific runway to utilize. Yeah, and we see really they have very high quality, these companies. Yeah. They have a lot of experience, and they're moving on. Some of them are in a stage where they're accelerating quite fast, and it's fantastic for us, this opportunity to get this kind of tech into the Danish market as well. But from the Danish side, it is not all companies that can apply? We try to, first of all, it is true, Martin, it must be a Danish company, so you need a Danish CVR number in order to apply from the Danish side. And we are focusing on the construction industry. We call it, also internationally, we call it AEC, Architects, Engineering and Construction. But since it's SMEs, we are talking about companies, smaller companies, all the way up to 250 employees, approximately. So that's the range of, and actually that's the only two things that we are focusing on. The size and the Danish CVR number, and of course then that you are working within the construction industry. In many, many different ways you can do this. So it's not a limitation. We will like to broaden it up and then see, please bring us your challenges and we will have a look at it. Yeah. So I think that maybe we should have a look and see if there's more questions.
Yeah.
Yes, so I have a question. How mature would a tech startup need to be in order to participate in the program?
So for a tech startup to participate, that will be on the EU side. So Martin, that would be for you.
Yeah, well, but I would say that the participation in a tech match comes out of the matchmaking that we are doing with a Danish company. So what is relevant and important is partly the technology and the abilities of the company, but also the interest from the company. Now, for the abilities and the technical stuff, it's important that the technology that the EU tech company is providing or has knowledge of or abilities in is at a level where it can be applied to a new area and we can create a prototype of sorts in 6 months. And I would say that that's really the important part. Obviously, creating efficiency and increasing the sustainability and all these things, but that has less to do with the technology and more to do with the application of the technology. Now, the second part of it that has to do with business or the mentality or the motivation for joining this program is equally important, I think. And that has to do with that it is really important that that the driving force behind this is not a huge amount of funding. It's not a developing new deep tech solutions as such, but it is moving into a new potential market, applying technology to a new area, creating something and seeing a real business opportunity in that. And the business opportunity, that comes out of the Danish SME and the Danish SMEs' knowledge about the market.
But I think also since the question was something about how mature the EU tech startup should be, it's really important to underline here that they must have been applying for EU funding, and there must have been a program from EU that has been facilitated by FundingBox. So if you now want to apply and then you have not been into a program run by FundingBox, it's a little bit too late for this round. Then it could be for rounds in the future. But I think maybe also leads to the next thing on our agenda.
Unless there's more questions?
I think that was, maybe we have even more, yeah?
Yeah, so there are some comments, questions.
Yeah.
So how can we improve the process from the Great Tech Match solution to implement it into industry as a must-have, not nice to have, IT solutions, concrete design, improvements, etc.?
Yeah, I think it's a very relevant question, so thank you for that. But I think now for today, maybe we should, I think the matching process itself, we try to be very focused on what is really relevant and what can be not only nice to have, but need to have. And there are many, many, many things that we can optimize when it comes to the construction industry. So maybe we should put that into another discussion for today. I think we should maybe focus a bit on the tech match itself today. Yeah.
Absolutely, but also it starts with the challenge.
Sure.
It starts with the challenge in the sense that we are not going to spend any time on nice to have or nice to solve challenges. The challenges that we are looking for from Danish SMEs has to be worth solving. Yeah? They have to be important challenges.
Sure,
yeah?
but you see, the thing is, and the beauty of this program is actually that you could be a company working every day, doing construction somewhere, maybe not even a very big company, but you have this thing, if we could do this, if we could solve this in any way, maybe you don't even know how to, you don't have the idea of what kind of tech it should be. It might be that you have the challenge that is really worth solving. So don't be too hard on yourself on this one, because it's better to bring it in and let's have a look at it. And don't think about solutions, more think of your challenge. And then we will see if we can solve it.
Yeah.
But I think now for fine. I think for you to understand who is Martin and FundingBox, who is BLOXHUB and Peter, I think it's maybe time to make an introduction of ourselves. So Martin, if you give us a short introduction of FundingBox.
Absolutely. And I brought 30 slides that... No, don't worry. It's only 3 slides. So, first of all, FundingBox is a European organization. We are present in multiple countries, and with companies, we are present in 4 European countries. We've been focusing on deep tech for the last 10 years. We have been around for about 30 years. We are probably most known for running a lot of EU, EEC projects across Europe. And recently we have also created our own VC fund, a small one though, that we hope to grow into a bigger one at some point. Here in Denmark we are present in Odense with an office there, originally put there because we were part of the Robot Union program that took place there. So what is it that we do in FundingBox? Well, we try to create an impact by selecting, mentoring and training startups in both traditional acceleration programs, but also in more innovation, university-based projects. And then we, as it is a really important part of actually being scaled or accelerated, we try to create and find funding for these startups. And another part of that is basically to be able to manage compliance and these huge programs from the especially from the EC. So right now, just as to put a really huge and impressive number on it, we actually have 100 million euros in management from the EC through all these different programs. But more important, who are we? We are now about more than 90 employees spread all over Europe. In Denmark, I think we are 7 people. But we are from multiple nationalities and even more cultures. We live and work from home. So, I mean, nowadays we all do that, don't we? But we actually did it before the COVID. So for us, the real downside to the social part of being part of the world with COVID is really the thing that we cannot travel around anymore and take part in programs across Europe in person. So I would say that's about FundingBox.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Amazing. How can you do that in just 5 minutes? So Martin, just to sum it up, in FundingBox, you must have met a lot of startup companies.
We certainly have. I think on one hand we have some programs where we have more than 1,000 applicants to get into a program where we end up only selecting 10 or 15 or something like that. So the ones that we have worked with, I think, is about 450 companies during the last 10, 12 years, something like that. And nowadays, where we have grown considerably, we are entering 150 companies every year, new, fresh companies that we work with.
Mm-hmm. So I must say, with the Danish companies out there, you can look forward to having a tech match from EU with a very high quality, and FundingBox is a guarantee for this quality. So we appreciate that, Martin. Sure.
And vice versa. So let's hear a bit about BLOXHUB for those who doesn't know anything.
And we agreed that I have the 30 minutes now. Yeah. Okay. No, so
I'm going to time you.
in order to give you an idea what is BLOXHUB all about, I could of course also I would like to show you a video, because we have not the ability to show you around in the physical place called Blocks, the building itself, but we have a video that tells you a little bit about the house, but also our visions, how we work and what we want to achieve with BLOXHUB. So let's put on this BLOXHUB video, and let's see, it's around 3 minutes.
Our future is urban. Every week, 3 million people move to cities around the world. By 2050, 2/3 of the world's population will live in cities. At BLOXHUB, we want to meet the urban challenge, creating better cities for all.
The challenges that our cities are facing are becoming more and more complex. Think of climate adaptation and energy transformation, urban infrastructure, resilience. Those are all factors that are crying out for new ways of solving the challenges of the cities.
BLOXHUB is the innovation hub for future cities, founded on the belief that the challenges of global urbanization and climate change require new ways of collaboration between architecture, engineering, design thinking, construction, facility management, and tech, but also between research and practice, and between startups and corporates, breaking down the silos, bringing together the brightest minds, co-creating better cities. Access to state-of-the-art technology for all. Small fab labs with 3D printing and scanning. A data lab, a living lab, and a VR studio.
In our VR studio, you can take a virtual reality tour. It could be a model of an apartment, a building, maybe a hospital, or even a cityscape. And in this way, you can make very crucial decisions even before you build your solution.
Big data will change the way that we design, build and think about our future. And in the city of Copenhagen, we gather, analyze and visualize data across different sectors and across different cities to improve sustainability.
An international community, a launchpad for new Nordic solutions with a global outlook and a gateway to the Nordic countries. At BLOXHUB, companies can connect, share and scale.
As a large global company, collaboration is really important to us. Being part of BLOXHUB is a fantastic opportunity. Being able to make innovative solutions with architectural firms, IT firms, city planners, other engineers, and being able to bring those out in our global network.
At GIL, we have a people-first approach to solving urban issues, and by that we mean putting people at the center by ensuring transparent planning processes and having a co-creative approach to problem solving.
We believe that great minds think together. Tailored workshops and accelerator programs, matchmaking and go-to-market strategies. We match you with the right people. We help mature ideas, explore opportunities, and make new solutions. We believe in curiosity. We believe in knowledge. We believe in co-creation. Our urban future, co-created.
So I hope that this video gave you a bit of an impression what BLOXHUB is all about. And as you can see, it's a physical place, but it's also a meeting spot. Yeah.
A lot of things. If you should summarize what BLOXHUB is, how would you do that?
Yeah. In a few words, we say that it's a place where we connect, because think of it as, a hub. That's where you connect things, bring things in. So connecting, that's also what we're doing in the Tech Match. We are connecting companies, and then the other word we use is sharing. That means we share our competences, we share an idea, we share maybe business opportunities. That's also what we do in the Tech Match. And then we scale. That's the third word we use. And the scaling is super important, because we want, of course, to go from a prototype, an idea, to market, to selling something. It's a commercial process that we are starting up here. So that's what BLOXHUB is all about. And you know, BLOXHUB is not a business, it's a community. We are not selling something in BLOXHUB. We are a non-profit organization. So it's a place where you can co-create and you can co-work. That's what I would like to.
Maybe in your answer there was also actually also a answer to the question from previously, saying how would you help us getting on after the program to commercialize a product. Yeah. So there's some really good backup and support from BLOXHUB there.
You're right. That's what it's all about. You know, I mean, to help. So, but anyway, we will. Your most important is you can get, of course, if you have any questions to FundingBox or to BLOXHUB, please put them in the live chat and we'll answer them later on. But now, should we move on? Yeah. I think you are also interested in knowing what kind of companies could actually apply, or at least who have been the winning teams of the first 10 matches that we have done within the program. So let's have a look at these matches. And what we've done is actually we're just taking a screen dump from our homepage. This was from bloxhub.org, and in there you can read so much more. So we will just very briefly go through the different matches to now.
And as Peter said, the reason for doing so is simply to illustrate also the vast size of different matches that can be done. So the first one, Smart Conveyors, that is a match between a Danish company, Baron, who is doing these conveyor belts for construction, together with Stratio, automation company in Portugal, that are applying new smart features to these conveyor belts.
And actually they have a platform that's been used for trucks, and now it's been used for conveyors.
And also potentially for renting out, or the market of renting these construction machinery as it is.
So I think whoever thought of a smart conveyor, but now we have it.
Yep.
And then we have HB Gruppen and a Dutch company called Lavo. And actually the challenge here was to find something that could help bricklayers not to get their backs hurt or stressed or spoiled. And what we found here is exoskeletons. It's not a completely new technology in that way, but they are now doing something that is optimized for bricklayers, but also for the very rough conditions that we find on a construction site, also in the winter times and so on and so forth. Super interesting.
The third match that we did in this first round was between Norfoss and GXN. And the solution here is a transportable or movable recycling water unit that basically could be used for special recycling of water for example, hospitals or remote locations where you would need to set up a presence. And things like that. The inspiration was actually from the creation of the new fish market in Sydney in Australia, where GXN was looking for a specific recycling water unit for that.
Yeah. So it's quite amazing. It's not only, let's say, rainwater, it's also wastewater that can do this. Okay, moving on to a Danish company called NID. And they are doing manhole covers. And that doesn't sound like something special, but they have now done a manhole cover in a composite material that makes it possible to send a signal through it. And that opens up for a lot of things, and we will know more about that later on. They have been matched with a Polish company called C-Things, and they are doing now the IoT and the networking of these covers. So we now have a smart cover.
And we're going to hear about that a bit later, and it's really, really exciting. So the fifth and last of the first round is Schulze and Grassau, who we've matched with a Portuguese company, Heptasens. And Schulze and Grassau basically had a problem in urban planning and in urban surveying the the neighborhoods before doing the urban planning, in having to do this manually by people actually noting how many people are moving in and out here, how many cars, how many trees, how many post boxes, how many anything that you can imagine. So we've matched that with a video surveillance. It's not surveillance, it's video something else, and artificial intelligence to create a solution whereby you can do urban planning on a large scale without actually being there yourselves.
So also very interesting and not seen before technology. So
Yeah.
let's move on to the round 2. And here we have, now they have just started up this round 2. And in the first we will look at the CX Web. It's a Danish company. And they are doing commissioning of buildings. And they are measuring, if the ventilation is okay, what about the lighting, and all these different things that are in these very complex buildings. But now they are matched up.
The company that they are matched with, in this case, the HPC, they are actually from Bulgaria, and that's also worth mentioning because we are getting around all around Europe for these companies.
Yeah.
But sorry.
Yeah, but that's fine. And I mean, HPC, they will bring in the sensors, but also the data that is so important for the solution that CX Web are working on. Super interesting.
The second match is between Energy, Danish Energy, who is doing solar cell roofs that actually looks nice. Yeah, surprise. Solar cell roof that looks cool. Yeah, but here it is. And with the addition from Inwebit from Poland, we are creating, or they are creating, a solution that will enable energy communities in specific housing associations in Denmark. Really interesting match. In this case, something that will enable the uptake of an existing solution, I would say.
And then if we move on here, we have a Danish company, Orico, and they're doing robotics in many different areas of the business. But they are lacking still, if they are a very high-tech company. But they lack the ability to recognize damages and dirt on some panels. They have a robot that can clean panels that are used for in situ concrete on construction sites. But the manual process of finding where are the damages and the dirt is very time consuming. So they want to automate this, but they needed something that could recognize these things. And we have now the German company, Sentin, that apply their technology and use AI to learn about these damages and what can be done, and then transfer the data to the robot. Super interesting.
And I think this match is actually also an example of what you mentioned earlier, taking from one sector, bringing it into something else, whereby I as far as I remember, Sentin are doing the inspection of welding. What is it called? Welding, metal welding connections in pipelines or something like that.
Yeah.
So now they're doing it, some of the same technology for these mold modules.
Good.
Now the fourth match is between E&P Trust that has a specific challenge on how to bring down the CO2 consumption on build sites, not in the finished buildings, but on the building sites for the construction process as such. And in order to accommodate that, we've matched them with a company from France, Sentinel, who is applying a platform whereby the emissions will be monitored and managed.
Yeah. And then, last but not least, we have this AGV that you can maybe see here on the last one. You can see a robot, you can see some walls, but the solution really is quite interesting. It's a Danish company called HD Lab. It's a born in BLOXHUB company, so we know them quite well. And they've been thinking about how to remove old paint from walls without, to get all the pollution, and it's very dangerous work. So now they want to have a robot. It's very hard to find a robot that can do this in these rough conditions that has to work within a construction site. So we have this company from Austria, Heavy Robotics, and they have a robot solution that's very modular. It's like Lego, so you can put it together. So it means it's also cost efficient, and that's super interesting. And they're now working on this AGV, and we look very much forward to see this solution, because I think it can be used for this specific topic, but also for many other things on the construction site.
So a lot of cool matches, but I think don't just take our word for it.
So now it's time for one of the matches that we also already mentioned, NID and See Things, and we would like to bring them here as an interview.
Hi, Niklas.
And we have now Niklas here on screen. Good to see you.
Hi, guys.
So, Niklas, first of all, thank you for taking the time today. That's great. Could you tell us a little bit about yourself and your company?
Yeah, my name is Niklas Runde. I am the CEO and founder of NID. Today we employ 8 people, and we have a very basic and simple mission, which is very hard, but that is to build the best and deliver the best manhole possible. Manhole covers, yeah.
Do we have, thanks Niklas, do we also have Arnold here? Arnold is from the counterpart in the match. Hi, Arnold. Thanks for joining from all the way from
Warsaw, Poland.
Warsaw, Poland.
So thanks for having me.
Tell us a little bit about yourself and your company.
Yep, my name is Arnold Wierzejski. I'm representing Seatings.co. We are taking care of designing, building, integrating IoT solutions around radio communication technologies like 5G, NB-IoT, LTE-M, and all the possible cellular options that is there.
Good. So, Anna, nice to have you here. So, Niklas, the problem that you're solving with your solution, it has to do with the flooding of urban areas. Isn't that correct? Tell us a little bit about the challenge that your customers have.
Well, basically, today the wastewater system and the water system as such, the pipe systems are basically a black box, and nobody really knows what's going on down there. So Arnold and I are providing a glimpse into that in the beginning, but in the end we would like to provide them a vast overview of an insight into the piping systems.
Interesting. So you can really monitor what's going on underneath these manhole covers that we see every day when we drive in our car. So if the flooding is starting up, you will be able to see it beforehand with this new technology.
Yeah,
That's super
so
interesting.
we will, exactly.
So Niklas, this manhole cover thing, that to me it sounds like a very, very small niche thing. How many new manhole covers are there being produced for the Nordics, for example, or Denmark per year?
Well, this model, which is a 600 clear opening, is 80,000 in Scandinavia, and in total per year. And in total, we are talking about 300,000 covers per year in Scandinavia only.
1,000 manhole covers per year.
Wow.
Peter, we are in the wrong business line of business here.
So, but I think that's why also Arnold, he's super interested. So that's nice.
Arnold, obviously you know everything there is to know about sewers and about flooding. Is that correct?
Yes, that's of course not correct, but then this is my role, how to smartify those covers. And
Let's hear about that.
So what we do there, we are installing our battery-powered radar. I have it here in my hands. It's crazy optimized in terms of power consumption, so it can survive 5-6 years, no biggie, which is quite unique. But we have those technologies under control, so we can, as said, smartify the cover and provide the value, solve the problem that is there for Niklas and his market.
Interesting. Maybe Niklas, can you show us how your manhole cover looks like with this technology installed? Do you have that on this?
So basically, this is a cover for 40-ton composite cover with the device, the first prototype underneath, and this is the frame. So basically, that's it.
That's it.
That's a new sound we love.
Yeah, it sounds like gold to me, but that's very good.
Perfect.
So super, and we're very happy to work together with you guys. You are amazing. Niklas, I'd like to ask you. Now you've been in this program for 6 months. Could you tell us a little bit about, entering into this program? What has it been like? What about the development of the prototype, and how does your customers react, and so forth? Super interesting for us to hear.
Well, there's about the program, or there was more questions.
How it's been for the 6 months in the program? Yeah.
Well, the good thing about this program is that basically what you guys are saying about it's easy to apply, and once you're in, it's also fairly easy to go along. And then the greatest part about this program is the quality of the tech match. So our partner in Arnold and his team has been amazing, and we've basically in 6 months we have gone from prototyping to basically building a backlog where our customers are starting to order now, and within a couple of weeks we will deliver the first manhole covers, smart manhole covers.
So you are taking orders. Anybody needs a cover, bring it on. So that's really cool, and it's really amazing. So Arnold, looking forward 5 years, what do you think? Where will the collaboration between the two of you be at that point, and the product as such?
It feels like it was 5 years, so it was a long ride, but a very fast one, I must say. And basically, what we do, technology. Technology means nothing if there is no problem that it solves. And here, it's such a deep competence from Niklas and his team about understanding utilities, about understanding this particular issues that municipalities have nowadays was huge. And then what will happen in the next 5 years? It's just an enabler. It's just a starting point. So we are bridging our technologies with the technologies of NID, but we're also bridging markets. So Niklas didn't mention that, but we also have orders here in our local market for the very same collaborated joint solution. So also opening new markets for both of us in both areas. 5 years is a lot of time, and I think what we discussed recently with Niklas, there's so many challenges, so many problems unsolved yet, and we are getting more and more confidence that together we can really address this very, very nicely.
It's super interesting, Arnold, and it's nice to see that the matching process is one thing, but to make a business is definitely another thing. But you manage both within 6 months, and that's pretty amazing. So if you should maybe bring your advice to the audience watching this launch event here, how should they approach the Tech Match event? Could you give them some advice from your side?
Arnold first?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so what I could advise, have your mind open for the knowledge and expertise from the totally different area of totally different business and needs. And this will give you the power basically to shape something that you did not even expect before. So I would never expect 6 months back that I will be smartifying manhole covers. We are having this joke running here that how to make manholes sexy again, right? So we are making them smart and sexy, both. So you cannot expect what may happen here and how much it opens both technological solution, but also the strategy, go-to-market strategy, partnership, and value for all the parties.
Yeah. So I think, do you have more questions for the guys?
I was thinking, Niklas, any good
Sure,
advice
sure.
for Danish SMEs sitting out there today thinking, should I apply? What would your advice be?
My advice would be that, I mean, what blew me away here was the quality of the match. So you're not getting matched with some, company who basically doesn't know what they're doing. It's, I mean, highly skilled people you're getting matched with. And in that, how should I say, within that realm or space, interesting things will happen. So I would definitely, I've been through other programs, public programs and stuff. This is by far the one who has the most value for us and NID. Plus, once you're then in, it will be a challenge to, because we have a very like old school business, and we are matched with a high tech partner, which not only has a different set of knowledge than us, but also have a different business model. So if you, in these 6 months or after, actually succeed, there are challenges on multiple fronts. But as Arnold said, if you're open-minded, interesting things will happen.
So, I would say, again, thank you so much. Thank you for participating here today. But most of all, thank you for participating in this program. And we look so much forward to work with you next 6 months and the next 5 years to see what will happen to your business. We are quite sure it will rocket high. So thank you again for participating.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah.
Thank you so much also for visiting us.
Thank you.
Yeah.
No.
Have a wonderful day, both guys. Yeah. Bye-bye.
Stay safe. Speak to you soon. Yeah. Thanks a lot. So maybe we should have a look, because this was from the first round. Maybe we should have a look at one of the matches from the second round.
Yeah.
Mind you, they have only just started, so it's very fresh and new. And we have a small video that we will put on.
And let's have a look at it.
Yep.
At HD Lab, we assist companies in the AEC industry by using state-of-the-art technologies, such as robots, to give our customers both competitive advantages and better, healthier work environments. We've partnered up through the Tech Match program that's facilitated by BLOXHUB and FundingBox and funded by Realdania, with Heavy Robotics to develop a prototype for an AGV, an automated guided vehicle for the dynamic and unpredictable conditions of a construction site.
Heavy Robotics was launched to commercialize a modular robotics platform that was developed at the lab to enable rapid development of custom robots. The solution is a hardy and flexible platform that can withstand the dangerous, dusty and noisy environment, can be remotely controlled and move autonomously, and is scalable and modular to accommodate multiple potential use cases. For project managers in construction companies who are lacking skilled labor, our product is an affordably unmanned AGV for construction,
which takes people out of dangerous, dusty and noisy environment. Unlike the manual processes, our product is safer, more accurate and cost efficient.
Okay, so now you have seen a short glimpse of HD Lab and Heavy Robotics and what they're doing. Maybe you also saw these modular robot things on the table. And that's actually what they are trying to put together in this new AGV. So we're looking very much forward to see how this will finally end up in a solution that we haven't seen before. And it's been quite difficult actually to find this kind of solution for many companies. So we're quite sure we will manage this with this tech match. So, Martin, is it super difficult to apply for this program? What do you say?
Well, I would say on a scale from 1 to 10, it's 1. It's super easy to apply. We've made a small slide to just show you the 3 steps from a Danish SME side, namely define your business challenge. And maybe this would be maybe this would be the right point to just mention an example of such a challenge, because some would maybe be a full page of text, but in other cases like the FB grouping, the ones with the bricklayer working together with the exoskeletons, the challenge was actually one line, and that one line read, "How can robot technology be used for brick wall facade?" So that basically turned into a specific match for them. So if you are able to be that precise, then don't worry about it being short. I mean, that's just cool.
That's true, and actually it gives us a lot of ability to work with the challenge, right? If it's short and simple, and still we can we have an idea. Okay, so this is what they could be. This technology could be that. Let's go for this, and hopefully we find the match, and then we will of course be in close dialogue with the ones defining the business challenge to us, and see have you understood this correctly and so forth. So don't worry, just put it in, and we will look at it. I will give you an idea of what the NID wrote in their application, and this is a little bit longer. They say, and you just met Niklas from NID. He said, historically, manhole covers have been made of cast iron. The problem is that you cannot send a signal through a cast iron cover. You can do this with composite manhole covers. Can you build a communication module that can communicate with existing sensors in the wastewater system, and a platform where you can get data from your level and blah, blah, blah. And then come some more technical things. So you see here again, we have no idea about, we have never ever heard there could be any challenge in this area of business, because, cast iron has been there for hundreds of years. Now we have it, and they have a solution. So I think that's really the beauty of this kind of challenge-based application.
Absolutely, and maybe we should just show the slide again, where you can see that as a Danish SME, you simply have to go into bloxhub.org/techmatch and then fill out the form and click apply, and that's it.
Yeah.
If you are one of the EU tech startups thinking about applying for this, you will go into techmatch.fundingbox.com, and again, you will fill out the application form, which is, I promise you, very simple and very short, and then you will press apply, and that's it.
Yeah, sure. And basically, in this stage, there's not a lot of information about your company. As said before, you need to have, if you're a Danish SME, you need to have the Danish CVR number, and you have to be a maximum of approximately 250 employees. So maybe you're asking, when can we apply?
And the good news is that you can apply now. Right now, we are opening the open call, and the deadline for having done the application is by the end of March. So the 31st of March this year, of course.
Yeah.
And
when we have the applications, just after that, then starts the matching process. Of course, we have to understand the challenges. The matching process then begins, and we will select the ones that we think we can do a match. And then there will also be some more, we will do a memorandum of understanding with the actual matches that we recommend here. Yeah. And then the application for Realdania, you met Simon before, that will be done just before summer holidays. And then Realdania will bring back okay. We will go for the matches that you have presented to us, and then you will get your final okay if you are selected just before, that means end of June, beginning of July.
So it sounds a bit complicated, but put in the application, and from there until we have a letter of acceptance of the match from Realdania, Peter and I will hold your hand all the way, and make sure that everything is done in the right way. And the formal thing about putting forward the applications to Realdania is of course something that we take very serious, but you should also know that I think that we have quite a good hit rate at this point, which is at about roughly...
You could say 100%.
Yes.
Yeah.
At about 100%. So if we come to the point of doing pushing you forward, then probability is that it will be accepted as a match, I would say.
So I think that we have more or less covered most of what this is all about. You know about the program, you know about how to apply, but it can be that you have more questions.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
and we're looking here at someone that you cannot see, but we will now have some of your questions from the live chat read, and let's see. Do you have some questions, Frederik?
Yes. So can a small association with tech problems also apply, or does it have to be a for-profit company?
I think that formally it does not need to be a for-profit company. However, we do need a legal entity to apply. So it needs to have some sort of legal structure. Yeah. But just to make sure about that, if we could ask you to reach out to Peter or I, and we will specifically check up on that question.
Sure. Yeah. And since I think this one is coming from a Danish organization, yes. I would appreciate if you could. We have the contact info just a little bit later on in this presentation. You will just have to write me an email, and we will discuss it. Yeah, sure. Thank you for the question. Do you have more?
Yeah, so it's kind of a comment. It would be good if some of the huge companies from the industry participated. Why isn't the corporates invited?
Yeah, maybe, and thank you for that question. It makes good sense. Maybe you saw before when Simon he presented what kind of programs they are running. They have also a program for corporates called Urban Tech. So this program here is specifically designed for helping SMEs within the Danish construction industry, because also here we see a huge potential in raising efficiency with the tech solutions. But we try actually to also bring in the corporates, because we have testing facilities for some of these solutions. So that's a workaround we do. So if we have SME, we have a startup company, but sometimes we also find a corporate that can then test the solution. Maybe that will be an answer for you.
Also, I think it's worth mentioning that most Danish companies and most European companies are SME companies, and after all, it is up to a size of 250 employees, which is not that bad, but point taken though.
Yeah, sure. Do we have further questions?
No. Then I think it's worth mentioning that both Peter and I, as a new modern thing, has acquired an email address, and that basically enables all of you to send us any question you like for the coming weeks.
Yeah.
And if there's something you want to discuss with us around the application, then by all means, I mean, give us a call or send us an email, and we will have a talk about it.
Yeah, for instance, I know one of the companies, or a few of you watching right now, have been calling and saying, yeah, but about, we are having this kind of a challenge. Is that relevant for you? What do you think? And we'll be discussing forth and back. So sometimes we can also help you in this process to make your challenge description more precise, or even to turn it in a way where it makes even more sense for the things that we can do. So please contact us, and we will do our utmost to help you if we can. Yeah. Oh, we have one more question here.
Yeah, there was a question. Will the presentation be available online afterwards?
Yeah. So this stream that we are now watching on YouTube, it will be on YouTube afterwards on the BLOXHUB channel, so you can go back and see it again and again. Don't forget to buy popcorns, right?
Popcorns, and I was just wondering why that nobody asked us about our dress code.
Yeah.
Is it really necessary to have a dark jacket and a white shirt?
And the answer is yes.
Yes, you have to when you do live streams. But I think both of us had to navigate our closets to find.
But you know, so it's been great that you've been watching this, and we look very much forward to see these applications coming in, and the time we have from now and all the way up till summer. I tell you, it's super exciting to see, because we see there are so many great ideas within the industry, and there are so many tech solutions out there that can help you. So please do not hesitate. Just bring in your business challenge and we'll have a look at it. Yeah.
And remember, short is sometimes even better than a long application and challenge.
So thank you now for watching this TechMatch Round 3 launch event.
Thanks a lot.
Looking forward to see you. Bye.
Very much.